The power agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in, or you're...
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
I had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFO. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, you know. Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Welcome to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo.
Who is this reptilian guy up in the screen? Did the computer like not work or something? Hello, I'm Jojo. Anyway. Oh, there I am, God. Scared crap out of myself. Welcome, everyone, to UFO Undercover. I would normally say I hope you're having a great day, great afternoon, great morning, wherever you are, but I had heard about Charlie Kirk being killed a little while ago, and it's just sad, man. I've listened to the guy. I don't always necessarily agree with everything he said, but he was a nice guy. You know, he was just trying to bring people closer. It's kind of sad. Political violence has gotten this bad in this country. But you know, by saying that, there may still be some hope because I was watching. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Anyway, it was either yesterday or the day before. My days are starting to run together. And I was watching the testimony in front of Congress. And at least Congress wants to know. I mean, everybody I've talked to, everybody I've seen talk to, everyone that I've listened to, they want to know. The problem is can they know? Like if you were listening to the latest one, the guy said, well, he said, we'd have to do this in private, and I'm not even sure that you can know. So this is the guy telling the congressperson this, that I don't think you can know. Okay, well, I understand there's different levels of trust in Congress and different needs to know in Congress versus everywhere else. But same thing with the president, and there's always going to be need to know. But some stuff, I mean, is really. Let's put it this way. So I would like to know anyone who's listening to this show, and I know we have a substantial listenership in archive. So anybody who's going to hear this or hearing this today, if you don't believe that there's extraterrestrial life in the universe or even in our own galaxy, I just want you to write to me and say, no, I think it's all bullshit. We're the it. We're the it. Okay. We're the it. No, but the reason I'm saying that is because, I mean, you could say that. It would be a terrible waste of space, but you could say that we were it, and eventually we would colonize the entire known universe. I'm not really believing that, but yeah, anything is possible. You know, I can't rule out anything that's possible, but knowing that there is some weirdo just showed up here. Oh, it's the Dragon Brother. Okay. He's a nutcase, man. Yeah.
I painted this for us. How is that nuts? Look at how pretty that is.
Wait, you got it upside down though.
No, it's UFO Undercover.
See,
I stole it from the Rush album. It's Grace Under Pressure, but it's UFO Undercover.
Chase got better drugs than that guy. I swear, it's just not right, man. It's not right. Especially since he lives out there in one of them Yankee states, man. Clifford. No, he lives in Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pennsylvania's a Yankee state. What are you talking about, man? It's way above
Pennsylvania is the first of the Yankee states. Maryland being the first of the southern states.
It's the Yankee state. Yeah, Yankees smell funny and stuff. That's why we don't go up there. We used to smell. I'm just teasing. No. Anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, that was the two serious topics I was talking about. One, again, I seen somebody just drop me that line. Yes, I'm sorry to hear about Charlie Kirk, and we will get into his life in depth on Friday night. I promise you. Yeah, it's just not for this show. I like the guy. I mean, like I said in the beginning of the show, I don't necessarily always agree with what he had to say. I didn't with a lot of stuff, but some of the stuff I was like, but the fact that he was brave enough to go out there and help youth to talk to each other, to me, was well worth it. And if someone to kill him because, well, I guess we don't really know why, but they're saying it's a political killing.
Without question. Did you hear what MSNBC was saying? Or they're saying it was a rally goer who was shooting their guns in celebration. Well, when you shoot your guns in celebration, you shoot up. You don't shoot at somebody. You shoot up.
Yeah, the bullet came in. I seen the entry. It hit him right here. This
just opened up, and an entire pint of blood came out. And you know, Joe and I, we talk on the show a lot about guns and ballistics because we know about how bullet performance works. I worked at a rifle and pistol range. He's ex-military. We know these things, and all my friends are like, "Oh, he's going to make it." I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys, he's not going to make it." That shot with that much blood coming out on the initial hit.
And to be honest, and this is a good thing.
But that same amount keeps on coming out. So he was losing pint after pint after pint. You only got 16. If you go beyond 8, it's almost impossible to come back from that.
So an AR-15 probably wouldn't have done that kind of damage, by the way.
No, gone right on through and left a small hole.
It would have just went, just like he said, it just would have went right through. And that looked more like a hunting round. Somebody who actually
whatever it was an explosive round, perhaps a hollow point or one of those powder rounds that pulverizes on impact.
Oh, and big lead head double. So we used to shoot the 30-yard 6. They had this 240 grain head for it. It looked like just a big lunk of lead. Whatever it hit, it was just.
That's how big the bullet is. It's about.
Oh yeah, it would. But it only had about 160 yards before it started to tumble. But still, if it hit anything, it just pulverized it. It was. Now I had a 180 grain rifle head. I used to, but those are pointy. Those are for much more precision shots through the heart, through the head. They're not for beginner hunters because if you hit them on the shoulder, it's going right through. It ain't even going to kill the deer. It's going to keep running. It may kill him later on, but it ain't going to kill him then.
Yeah.
No, AR-15s are pretty and they're not a subway. But anyway, we're not going to get into it tonight. I promise y'all. Friday night, we'll get into all aspects. By then, they should have some more information on. At least we'll know what the caliber of the bullet was.
Yeah.
That'll give us.
If they find the shell, I mean, I don't even know if it was the bullet was left in his body, but.
They're gonna find it. You can bet your ass on that.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, they have to find out where he was, and maybe unless he kept the if he was a experienced
when you see the shot, it doesn't look like it goes out of his body. So the lead's still in his body. So the bullet would have went in the floor right next to him. So
right.
But anyway, getting back to the alien stuff. Sorry, guys. There's enough of that, y'all. I promise you, Friday night we'll go inside out. Whether you like him, don't like him, won't matter. We'll inside, outside. And by then, all the politicians have been listening to him today, which is kind of just funny. So we'll get to hear all of that. I used to talk with Michael Angley about that, just setting up a like a bilateral, bi-weekly news show just for events like this. But Michelle books the time tight on the network, so it's hard to do without. I mean, we can go in over somebody, but it's just kind of rude.
Yeah.
Well, no, because we're going to talk about all this stuff anyway. And we'll be much more informed of what's going on. Now, if something crazy comes out, I'm going to be on Ethereal tomorrow night, so I'll let y'all know at 4 p.m. I believe, Central Time. So. If I hear anything between now and then, I may say something in the beginning. But I'm going to talk with her about extraterrestrials and why they like the taste of. They like South Americans. They think they taste better for some reason.
They like that Latin spice.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just spicy. I don't know. I would have thought they would have liked the Italians, man.
Well,
the French. The French are wusses.
We can honestly say that the bulk of the current UFO activity is right now concentrated in and around South America.
It seems to always be. It
seems to have always been too. From
I mean, when you start looking backwards in time, it just always seems to be there. But anyway, guys, we'll get back to the topic again. So I'm listening to the new testimony. I even heard some questions I knew that were coming because of stuff that I had said. So it was very interesting. I noticed they kind of foo-fooed most of Greer's stuff out. Like, even the girl said, well, I heard there were lots of EBBs and EBTs, and she was cracking me up, Miss Mace. And
hey, Heidi.
She was just kind of like, that's when she got into the extra dimensional. And then it just got foo-fooed away because nobody really thinks it's extra dimensional. Now, while we're talking about that, we did see, so there's the video out. I don't know how many of you have seen the video. The thing is cruising along and a missile hits it and it just deflects the missile off of it. Yes, it just deflects the missile off of it. I've seen it for the first time yesterday. Somebody said it's been out for a while, but I haven't seen it.
It's only just been released with the recent testimony. I think yesterday and the day before is when it first came out.
Yeah, so there's that piece, and then there's another one. This thing is flopping around all kind of ways, coming down, and it just hits the ground. It sticks. Like you would expect something from space to do, just kind of sticks. And it mostly was intact. But I heard some people said it was a hub, a wheel hub. Guy said it was a 1965 Cadillac hubcap. The other guy said it was
that's true. Some of the 50s UFO photos. There's the one guy they caught all he did was he took his hubcap off his truck and frisbeed it while someone else clicked pictures off.
Yeah, and actually still around today. That's the sad part.
Yeah, they are.
It's that stuff sticks around, people. It's on to see on the iCar website. There are, I think, 10 pages of UFO pictures. Most recent, I think, are like in the mid 2000s because I haven't updated any of the pictures.
Yeah, you got a couple of the flaps from Mexico City.
So the thing about it is on every third or fourth page there's a hoax. So I think there's a total of 4 hoaxes out of like 200 pictures. Might be more than 200 pictures. The problem is no one ever gets the hoaxes. And we used to actually give a prize if you could find the hoaxes. If you could find all 4 hoaxes, it was worth $100 to you. And this one actually $100 wasn't like a 20. It was actually a little more than that, so maybe like a 50. But still, it was rare that anybody. Well, actually, nobody actually got all 4. And 2 or 3 times when I'd ask, which ones do you think the best were, they would be the fucking hoaxes. Excuse my language, ladies and gentlemen. They would be the hoaxes, and you're like, get out of here. And
well, see, that's the problem. Is that people want to think that the clear, bright, well-focused, dead center UFO picture is the real one, but that's going to be the hoax. Almost every person who has taken pictures with emulsion film before we had the cell phones and the digital stuff, they're almost always out of focus. They're blurry, and the UFO isn't right here. It's a little pinprick way up there in the far corner of the picture. And so that's kind of the problem, is that Billy Meyer really, really messed people up when he started hoaxing his own photographs. All the craft were very ornate. He put all these little tchotchkes and things all around it, and it wasn't smooth. It was riveted. So the fake ones, because they look so clean and crisp and clear, that's the ones that people are drawn to because it's in focus.
It's sad part is he had really good pictures. I never understood.
He had some really good authentic pictures too. Yeah,
I never understood why I know why he did it, because he didn't like
making money off of it, but
he didn't like fading. It's not always about the money. Sometimes it's about that little bit of fame. It's
that
too. You like feeling like you're somebody. Oh wait, there. Hold on. I just see. Oh, the Pal Talk thing just opened up. Hello, Pal Talk.
Hey, Pal Talk.
I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but hello, if you can. Somebody just opened the room. I don't know who it was. All right, 2, 3 people in there. Hey, people, what you doing over there? I'm gonna try to start featuring Pal Talk, but get it where I can put it up on my home screen up here. It's well, we used to use it a lot in the old days. We used to have a really good room that had a lot of people in it. I've seen that room max out a few times at 500 because that's the max it could hold. And I've seen it in lots of days, especially on good broadcast days. It would just be full of goofy people talking about God knows what. And then a show would come on, and it's like, oh yeah, then you never knew who was going to tear you a new ass. I watched Supernatural Substation one night. Aline and I can't remember her name. She's one of my favorite hosts too. And this drunk guy came on. He didn't sound drunk at first, so he's talking to him. He was good, man. He's slick. He was going. And I knew about 3 minutes, and I said, Joe, you should just block this dude. I said, no, let's see how far it'll go. Let me see how far the girls will let it go. He went on for like 25 minutes, man. And he finally said something. They're like, excuse me, Joe, block you. I was like, okay, click. Anyway, that's neither now here. But Pal Talk is good for questions a lot of times. But anyway, getting back, so I'm listening to the testimony yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, this is and I'm listening to what's his name, Antonio or whatever his name is. George Knapp was there with the most boring, dry ass testimony I've ever heard. I'm thinking, Knapp, I know you've worked on better cases than that. What the hell? They had an agenda they were pushing. I don't exactly know what it was, but they were pushing an agenda yesterday. The little group over there. You had I can't remember the guy's name. Hernandez and good-looking guy, younger guy. I don't know why he does a lot of UFO stuff. I just can't get his name back in my head right now. But I'll pull up the video after a while, guys, and y'all can see who he is. With his little flame-tipped hair style head going on. It was kind of
not Giorgio Tsoukalos.
No, not Tsoukalos. He wasn't there. Yeah, no one takes. I like you, Giorgio, so don't take this the wrong way. Because I do think you're a cool dude, but a lot of people just don't trust you or something. If they don't trust ancient aliens, is what it is.
I mean, the reason is he's a good mouthpiece, and that's really. I mean, I don't think I can attest to any actual research that he's done, other than the fact that he's been in and out of every one of Eric von Daniken's books and translating them into 4 and 5 other languages that he speaks, reads, and writes.
Yeah, he's a. But what's all in the way you want to look at people, man? I mean, all these old timers have something twisted or tied together, have made allies with somebody, or Giorgio just came in at the right time, and he had a keen interest in this stuff, and he wanted to be involved, and his hair helped sell it. But he's a good talker. He's a good talker. He does take the time to at least educate himself on a topic matter. So he's not always right, and a lot of times he gets bogus information, but it's not him because he's not actually doing that research. Somebody else.
Yeah, the classic that they made on the show was there's a Gothic church I think it's in France, and they had a show where they show the details on this building, and one of the details is that NASA astronaut. It's an actual NASA astronaut that they carved in relief on the side of the building, and they didn't do their due diligence, and they said on the show, this Gothic church built in 1500 or 1600 or 1400, whenever it was built, predicted this NASA astronaut. Well, that's not the truth. What really happened was there was, I'm not sure if it was war damage or weather damage or some kind of damage happened to the one face of the building. So they went and they repaired it. And instead of restoring it to what it was, they decided, well, and it was near some anniversary of the NASA moon landing. So they decided to commemorate that by putting this NASA astronaut in the reliefs in modern times. But Ancient Aliens got a hold of that and just ran with it for like a couple of years until they were told otherwise, and they actually had to run a retraction.
Well, they try, they're trying to be relevant like everybody else is.
And sometimes they try.
I hate no Ancient Aliens. I've been on it a couple of times, but I mean, it's truthfully, Coast to Coast actually does better for me than Ancient Aliens does. I know that's a bitch. Well, because it takes way more radio listeners to add up. You don't have to have as many TV viewers. Yeah, well, Coast got a pretty good audience. The most I ever got off of Coast, 600,000 in one night. On my very first appearance, matter of fact. Yes. It was only downhill from there. Worst I ever did was about 160,000. Yeah. No, it wasn't bad. But anyway, getting back to what we were talking about. It's so anyway, I'm listening to him give testimony, which is, it's always fun to hear different people, especially these high-end military people or the industrial complex people. They're way more fun to listen to. Because they're always like, well, we can do it in the back. Yeah, Oh, but you know what? He tells her, just as what senator was this anyway? He tells her, he goes, well, we can do this in the back in the skiff, but I'm not sure if you're if I can tell you this. I mean, you don't have the classification to hear this. And this guy's not in the military. He's or in the government. He's just a wacko working for some company, and he knows more than the senator does. That's sad. Is what that
I know more than senators do, and I've never had top secret clearance.
Yeah. Well, the problem here is okay. Since I've had the pleasure of meeting some now, and then watching all these others, and then seeing all this stuff with Congress, it God, I hate to say this out loud, but it makes me feel like really no one in Congress knows squat.
They don't. Unless they've gone and done their own research, they are not informed.
You might have some that know about the Aurora project and the different space planes we got, which, by the way, we got way more space planes than I knew we had. These things are popping up all over the place in different shapes. We got one up there right now. It's kind of looks like a Airbus space shuttle. It's full of new weapons testing equipment.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know
space
what
weapons.
Yeah, space weapons. I don't know what the hell this is. So, and wait, DARPA admitted to it. So it's kind of like, wow, okay, DARPA. And then the Russians leaked this thing on Elon Musk, saying they had got the plans of one of Elon's Starlinks because they were going to copy it, and realized that each Starlink has a laser built into it.
No way.
So he's like, that's going to be like 50,000 lasers in space, right? I can just see Putin's eyeballs.
Communication lasers or lasers?
No, he meant lasers, like blow shit up lasers.
The constructive kind, yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I was cracking up when he said that, and you can see Putin was shocked. He whatever it is, he thinks it's real, and I was like, because that's the first thing I thought. Well, of course, they got communications lasers now. Probably high end, very sophisticated, jamming type communication lasers in them. But as far as, but you know what? They're bigger than what people think they are. So first time I heard Starlink, I thought it was like this, like 2 foot by 2 foot satellite. Fucking thing's way bigger than that.
Look at the size of a bus.
I was like, and they always talk about, they're just little things in space. My ass, man.
No.
Lasers.
No, we were
Lasers that may or may not.
We were talking about Starlink's. Putin says Starlink has lasers built on board.
Right, like lasers that may or may not start wildfires.
No, not those kind of lasers. They could, I guess. I guess they could if they wanted to. Yeah. But these are for something a little more sophisticated than starting forest fires. These are more for like.
Yeah.
Well, when you think of it, because 46,000 of these things in space at one time, that means that you could go end tip to end tip and just completely from one end of Russia to the other end, just one big sweep of laser like a broom sweep.
Turn the whole thing down.
Yeah, just sweep one way and then sweep back the other way. There's nothing left. Same thing in China. It'd be like, you're talking, well, the majority of people did. Majority of everything burned to the ground. But not irradiated, though. Be usable afterwards.
Yeah. And knowing that those, if they really do have the lasers, it puts a different spin on it, because he's been saying, or he had been saying, he was going to use his satellites to intercept any missiles launched from Russia to America.
Yeah.
And in order for them to do that, the missiles that would be launched are, the size of the Saturn rockets we launched to the moon. So these big missiles, that satellite, in order to knock that down, would have to be at least as big as a city bus.
This guy owns all kind of stuff. The more I look at Elon, the more shit I find he's involved in.
Mm-hmm.
He owns a tunneling company.
Yeah.
The big boring company, not the little piss ant. I mean, really. Mm-hmm. I was like, what the hell, Elon? Should know that, because being from where he comes from, there's a lot of mining down there. But these are like the ones that they make big channels with. I'm like, who is he? And all his contracts are government. So what's he digging underground somewhere we don't know about?
Deep underground military bases.
Speaking of that, so I've been in the salt domes before.
There's whole cities underground.
Allegedly, yes.
Live underground. What are you, a hermit now?
Like,
now she wants to live underground.
No, like,
nobody wants to live underground.
It's so big that, they have all artificial not weather, but climate controlled.
They do. They even have these little things on their windows that you can see thunderstorms or wind blowing or spring or fall and autumn. I've been in 2 of these, so it's very strange. A good friend of mine used to work at the WIP facility before she got promoted, and so the WIP facility is where they just store all the non-weapon grade radiation stuff on the planet. Everything goes there, and unless it's weapons grade, then it goes to Yucca Mountain. So everything else goes there, and the place is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is huge. They got these bays cut in all over the place. Big, huge pieces of equipment rolling around. Looked like something out of a Get Your Ass to Mars scene or something. It was crazy big. Matter of fact, I got kind of in trouble because they had sent me this picture of everybody standing in front of this big open space. So I cropped in a saucer behind them. And I just posted as a joke to the internet. The thing went viral, and everybody's like, "Did you see that? I knew they were hiding stuff besides just waste down." My friend, she calls me. She goes, "Joe, you're a bleeping. You know what, man? You're gonna get me fired." I said, "Nobody knows who it came from."
little late coming in, but did you guys already discuss what the probability, or do you already know? What do you suspect that craft to be that had the Hellfire missile blown at it and just like bounced off like nothing?
That's looks like just a standard old regular old probe. I don't know why anybody thought it was a big deal. I'm thinking, well, if it's extraterrestrial,
It looked like it had pieces of it that morphed back into it.
I don't know. The one I got was kind of a grainy picture. It's hard to tell what was going on because I noticed there was water droplets on the camera lens, and whenever this thing hit, the droplets moved, and I was thinking, well, wait, it's not on the missile, was it? Or because we'll be watching the missile actually impact live? No, I thought we was watching it from a distance. So there was something squirrely about that. It still bothers me. I have to go back and watch it a couple more times. Something about that just it was like it was. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the camera lifted and moved back or something. And since it was supposed to be on a plane or something, I'm a little confused what was going on there. It's interesting, fun to watch though. It's just like the one that does it flip flopping all the way down to Earth and then crash in the dirt. And you keep hearing a guy say it's a non-kill. It's a non-kill. And I'm thinking, what military are you in? The kiddie military? It's just hard to tell some of this stuff these days. Whatever that was that they showed earlier today, that one flopping down, hitting the ground, that looks like something belongs to us. It just doesn't look like it's extraterrestrial. That other thing, I don't know. It's hard to tell from the angle it hit it. You know, it could have been a drone that had just hit on an angle and deflected itself. Or it might have moved right as it tagged it or something.
To me, it looked like a blob of plasma moving at extreme speeds. You got hit, pieces of the plasma broke off, but then like merged back with it. And some of the like other pieces were following it at the same. It didn't even like knock it off its trajectory. The missile, it just bounced right off, basically.
No, it didn't. I just looked at it. I hadn't had a chance to review it yet, but whatever the object is, it is
well,
also
share with the people, man. What is wrong with you two? You see how rude they are? Both of them are rude. You talk about something, when you talk about these kind of things, you got to share with the public. They don't know what the hell we're talking about. They're going, what is wrong with these people?
Here we go.
I know. They were both dropped in their heads when they were babies.
I sent a link. What's his name? Sheehan? I don't remember his first name. Curly white haired guy.
Yeah, I don't
with the glasses.
What the hell?
All right, let's get this up full screen. I'll go back to the beginning real quick. Here we go. And
in 2024, off the coast of Yemen, a U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone tracking a glowing orb as it flies over the water. Watch as a different U.S. drone fires a Hellfire missile at the orb, but the missile appears to bounce off it. The orb seems to just fly away unfazed. It was shown at...
It did deflect a little bit, and some pieces came off of it that seemed to keep following with it. So
But did it come off it or did it come off the missile?
Yes.
I think it was plasma that came off of the object because if they came off the missile, they would have gone in the same direction as the missile. Yet instead they followed the.
And did you see
grabbed up by gravity?
Here, watch
how the main object like morphed like a puddle.
So what is this light we got on top of it? Why is it being bombarded by this
orb
light?
As it flies over the water? Watch as a different.
Boom! So now you see these three little things, and they're still going with it. Following.
Yep.
So whatever that came off of it was some sort of. So there's a solid object below a glowing plasma shield. So whatever the missile hit was not a spaceship; it hit a shield and was deflected. And part of the shield, if it's a plasma energy or a plasma device, that's what came off.
How fast does a Hellfire missile travel?
Mach 7, probably somewhere around there.
Pretty fast, right? That's pretty fast, right?
Mach 7 is very fast. Yeah. And the only other things that can go that faster are the new hypersonic jets.
That's cruising, but I wonder why it just didn't get out of its way.
Yeah, I mean, it should have saw it coming, basically, right?
That makes me.
So one of the theories, from what I understand, one of the theories, from what I understand, like according to people like, okay, let's just say Lou Elizondo, he's claiming that there is advanced technology that the U.S. has managed to reverse engineer, which is why they don't want disclosure to happen, because there's these billion-trillion-dollar companies that have invested so much time, money, and engineering effort into reverse engineering these crafts, that if it were to be disclosed to the public that they are in possession of such craft, that it could undermine their efforts of the purpose for these crafts or whatever.
It's hard because, you know, so I noticed this time when they were doing questionings, it started sounding like we didn't have any craft. It's weird because when Stephen Greer's guy came on, he had a spy guy. He said we had a bunch of them, we had a bunch of EBEs and all this other shit. And now for some reason, which I know part of the reason, but they seem to have kind of moved away from that. The one guy, the one that was talking about Area 51, he was like, no, I don't think think they have what you think they have. Meaning he doesn't think of it in the way that they have spacecraft. For some reason, this guy, he's way up there and he's in the industrial complex. He probably knows what's going on. He's making it sound like it was something different. But he didn't say it wasn't extraterrestrial technology. He just was trying to say it wasn't actually a spacecraft. And I was thinking, well, what is it if it's not actually a spacecraft? It was kind of a little on the confusing side. But he was definitely downplaying it, that we definitely didn't have any bunches of spacecraft. He said, and to be honest, the way it really actually works is, he said, even if we had anything, this piece would go to Lockheed, this piece would go to Boeing, this piece would go to Nevada, and all these different companies, because they all have contracts and they all have things they specify.
Precisely. And then some of that is detailed in Philip Corso's book, where he allegedly was given the keys to a file cabinet with little bits and pieces of their technology that he was to funnel into the military-industrial complex and the contractors to see if they could make some kind of military or tactical use out of it. So fiber optics went to Dow Chemicals. Velcro, I think, went to DuPont. A whole bunch of different, there were the skins we now use on our stealth craft went to Northrop Grumman. So he details, I mean, I may be wrong on which ones got which, but in his book, he details which people he brought them to. And a few of them were all developed at Fort Meade, Maryland. And one of those technologies that they developed at Fort Meade, Maryland was the night vision systems we now currently use today.
Night vision.
Yeah.
I still have a couple night vision things around the house. I remember when they were first gen. Now they're probably back well, they were first gen, third gen.
First gen is 1950.
Yeah, I think now we're at 6th gen, 7th gen, somewhere up there. Maybe might be higher than that. It's well, people, I got something I would consider 4th generation. It's damn good. You can look up in the sky, see all kind of weird shit flying around the sky. It's confusing because you have no idea what it is. No one's talking about anything being flying around in the sky, so it's kind of strange. Matter of fact, the people out at in Sedona, Arizona have them, and you can go watch they like to call them the UFO wars overhead. Yeah, when you put these things on and you go sit and watch, and just UFOs are flying all over the damn place.
Yeah, you can literally see through clouds with Gen 4.
Yeah,
Gen 6 and Gen 7 allegedly have X-ray. They can look through walls and they can pinpoint your heart through your skeleton and shoot you through it.
Yes. Say, how do you? Bing.
Yep.
It's well, Jeffrey. I mean, when you listen to Congress, I mean, Congress wants to know, and they're asking serious questions, but they're only getting partial.
Thank you for the update, Heidi.
I mean, they're really only getting. Yeah, poor Charlie, man. That just sucks. And I'm going to come unglued on Friday, so y'all just know it ahead of time. It's just one of those things we're going to have to deal with now. But anyway, Congress is really wanting to know the truth. I mean, they're you're looking at these people, and the two black-headed ladies, they're like pissed. They're like, come on, what's going on here? And you've got people who have got some answers, but they're still kind of hemming and hawing around. Trying to like, well, kind of, maybe we'll have to go in the skiff, maybe, kind of, All right, well, that's telling you, blank is what that's telling you. But they basically admitted at this one and the last one that ET is real and the planet is being visited. They just won't go into any details about it. But no one was denying that there wasn't extraterrestrials today. They were just trying to figure out what we knew about them, what we didn't know about them, and why they had a fascination with nuclear bases. So I got another list the other day of other nuclear facilities that have been buzzed by UFOs that, for some reason, I haven't seen anywhere else. It listed 4 other countries, including China, by the way. They said the first weekend when China decided it was going to start putting warheads on missiles, because for a long time it had warheads but no missiles. They said UFOs showed up on several occasions, and every time they would have fixed the missile to the warhead to the missile, it would shut down. And they kept just thinking it was just some kind of electrical problem. They'd take it down, go back, and the UFOs would just, every time they would go to do it, they would just shut down. It was basically telling them, hey, look, you know what? You're wasting your time here. But eventually, I think the Chinese wore them out.
Well, the question I have on that, there are several incidents in the U.S. military and the Russian military, but it seems that our military equipment, they turned off. Yet with the Russian military's equipment, they turned on, as in preparing to launch. Does anybody have any speculation as to why they did? I mean, the UFOs did this. Why would they turn one so it's about to launch and then turn it off, and then the other they turn off so they can't launch? What's the thinking there? Does anybody have any ideas?
This probably had more to do with our equipment than anything else. They were probably just like, well, it'd probably be easier to control this one when it's on and this one when it's off. Didn't we have back then? Didn't we have? No, I think no. See, that's probably why, because I'm pretty sure we had on what they called on fire. So once it was on, it fired.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once those 2 keys were turned, it fired.
So if you had turned them on, that means it would, as soon as they ET released whatever thing was on, the missile would just fire.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
See, in Russia, it's different. Russia's got a different command structure than we do. So I didn't even know this. So first off, in Russia, each general is in charge of his missiles, and it's up to him whether he's going to fire them or not. Worse than that, even the people who launch the missiles themselves that actually light the candles, they actually have a say in whether they want to launch them or not. It's not like it is here. They're not trained the way our soldiers are. They just click, click.
Ours were trained to launch at the first, when they got the command in the correct code, and for no other reason, they must launch. They cannot allow. They had, they gave these guys such training that once they got the right code, that missile was gone.
It's like I had interviewed a gentleman who had was at one of the facilities where the ETs had come. So this was a strange story. So somebody introduced me to the guy at a conference, and we're talking. He's telling me about when he was stationed at this air base. And he said, at the time, he said I was whatever they call them. I call them SPs, but I think that's what they call them, the Air Force too. But anyway, they were military police basically. And he said I was working the gates when this thing came on and the base went on alert. And then he said all of the doors on the missile tubes popped open. Didn't open completely, just like unlatched and opened some, and the whole system just turned off. So after talking to him for a while, he introduced me to a colonel that was there, who said no matter what they did, and he said we tried to launch these missiles. By the way, he said no matter what we did, we could not get the missiles to launch.
Wow.
He said it was almost, and he said then some guy got the idea maybe we should try to test one of the nukes. He's like, wait, we're gonna like blow it up on the facility or something. What's wrong with you? But really, they wanted to test one. He said, but by the time they had gotten to it, they noticed that there was no reaction in the little ball thing they have that they put inside with the uranium inside of it. And
someone took the uranium.
No, it was there. It was inert.
Oh.
That's how he described it, that it was inert. I was like, which tells you right there that they could get rid of.
Well, it's impossible because uranium doesn't become inert for millions of years.
Well, that's what they're saying. It was inert. It was just dead. But then once the UFO was gone, it was alive again. So that tells me right there that ET has the ability to clean up any nuclear waste in our environment.
Or maybe not necessarily clean up, but at least dampen it until they can, doesn't bother them, and then they can leave or do their work and then leave.
I'm pretty sure they could have just turned it. Once they made it inert, I imagine there was a way to keep it that way. Just that wasn't part of their job. They were just trying to teach us something, which obviously we didn't learn.
Well, I mean, maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I mean, we did launch 2 bombers with 2 nuclear devices that we fired off 3 of them in World War III, 1 to test and 2 to kill. And, ever since we opened up that genie bottle, UFO activity has, skyrocketed enormously.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but I debate that. There's so much in the ancient world that I don't know. It just seems to be really and truly. I find the ancient world has more UFO sightings than even today's world does, with all of our cell phones and everything.
I would agree with that 100%.
It just seems like, and I do agree when we popped the genie, UFO went up a lot. The sightings went up a lot anyway.
Oh yeah.
I still the same amount of abductions, but it was and that's mainly because it was like after 9/11, when 9/11 happened, the amount of UFO sightings almost tripled. Do you know why? Because people were looking up. People that had been taken were looking up, is what it was. And they started seeing them. Because even when they're hiding, if you've been taken, you can still see the damn thing. I don't know if you sense it, feel it, whatever it is, but you know it's there. And then, and you're going to love this question because, I've been talking about this for like 4 decades. So she goes, well, I hear some of their craft are alive. Wonder who she got that from. It's, and the guy's like, well, and he started, he's like, I couldn't comment on that. Yeah, I bet you can't comment on that. See, it just had this weird undertone that they might have had something different. We started thinking about this a long time ago. We used to talk about, they were looking for something. Daddy Bush was looking for something in the Middle East. Whether it was a gate or some kind of secret weapon or the stone of Atlantis, whatever the hell it was, they were looking for something. The Ark of the Covenant.
Emerald tablet, something. Yeah, they
were looking for something. So, and I think over the years they found some of these somethings. So, but is that necessarily extraterrestrial?
Well, I mean, we don't know. We can say for sure that the Ark of the Covenant is at least a man-made object with some supernatural abilities. And, if you look at, it's fiction, but according to Indiana Jones, the United States government has it. What if they did? Is that why we're so good at war? Is that why we keep winning? Except for Vietnam, we have pretty much won every conflict we've been in.
Yes, China says no more of that. We'll kick your ass next time, white boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that's a threat. But your 2 little aircraft carriers that will sink the first day. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
If you weren't, I was about to.
Anyway, I mean, I was talking with some friends of mine about this, and so when you look in the ancient world, not the old world, but the ancient world, 5,000 years or further back. So started China, started Egypt, Samaria, wherever. We know Mesopotamia, all of them existed back then. As far as this side of the world, we didn't think anything existed, but now we've got the oldest city in the world sitting off the coast of Cuba.
Yeah.
So don't that put a twist on shit?
Whereas before, the oldest city in the world used to be Eridu and in Iran.
Yeah, and then until we found the 2 off the coast of India,
right?
And then they became the 2 oldest, and then this one became the oldest.
Yeah, they're speculating the ones off of India are what, 16,000 to 20,000.
Yeah, they've got them. This is what's so funny about this. So originally they dated around 12,500 years ago, 15,000 years basically, and well, no, guys, it's been 2,000 years since AD, so you got to remember when you add that in. So if you're saying 13,000 BC, it's 15,000 years ago. Anyway, they've started at around 12,500, and then they meandered themselves back to 15, 16, then to 18, and back to 16. I don't think they actually know. I think they're just going to settle somewhere in the 16, 17. The one in Cuba, they started at 17, got up to 26 or 27, came back to 20, went back to 15, went back up to 18. I think they settled on somewhere between 17 and 19. So,
but there's also a
splitting hairs.
Yeah, they are splitting hairs, and there's a recently discovered tepe in, I believe, the extreme western side of Turkey.
Hey, Christy.
That they're hey, Christy. I think they're calling around 18,000, and then in that same area, and I think this one's near Anatolia, Turkey, is a thing called Derin Kuyu, and it is an underground chamber, multiple levels, multiple chambers, and from archaeological studies, they suspect that upwards of 20,000 people lived in there. Not could live in there, but did actually live in there for several thousand years. So think about that. Why would we live underground? Why would somebody live underground in that region?
Well, it might have been during Ice Age. Because that was another funny thing that helped the one off the coast of Cuba is, okay, they were trying to say it was 17, 18, 19,000, but according to the map thingy, it was still ice then. So it wouldn't have been a sunken city. It would still been above the ground.
Or under ice.
Actually, they don't even think the ice. They actually think that was land that for some reason shifted. Because there's a plate that comes off of Florida. Technically, Florida's like twice the size it actually is because there's a plate that runs all the way around the state that protrudes out. And they consider that Cuba was part of that plate.
Yes.
So at one time, they think all that was land was all above the water for whatever reason it sank.
It collapsed.
And that just kind of looked like it just broke off, actually, because it's right up against the cliff going up out of the water. I mean, it's almost right up against it. It's not right up against it, but it's almost right up against it. So it might have just, I don't know. And anyway, it went, the damn thing's intact. Tells you about building pyramids. It's hard to break the bitches up.
Yeah, that is one thing. They are time proven.
And so they said they knew which method they used to build those pyramids.
Who said?
The astronomers that went on the oceanologists that went down there. They said they knew which because the guy's still a regular. He still comes around. He hangs out. He drives the yellow submarine. He was one of the deep divers for him. And they used to go down there, and it was weird because when you look at the pictures, it looks like blocks. It doesn't look like Mayans, the way Mayans built them, or Aztecs or Incans. It looks like the way Egyptians built them.
Well, so yeah, that's true. The Egyptians used large blocks, whereas the Mayans used more of a like a cinder block, larger than our cinder blocks, but a more manageable rock size. Because, I mean, think about it. That I keep going on about this with the Egyptians, and you and I have had great arguments on this. The tools just don't exist in the repertoire of the Egyptians of that time frame to have.
And so think about what you're saying.
buildings.
So here's this other city that it's got to be at least 24, 25,000 years old or older, built basically the same way.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Well, you don't take where I word for it. The sunken city off the coast of Cuba has been around for a while, and there are still pictures. And if that you don't, we still have some
was around before humans, and it says so in the Bible. So, I mean, why can't these pyramids have been built by,
It's a very old city, and but it's on this side of the world. Remember, life started on the other side of the world, not on this side. But if that's true, then why is the oldest city in the world on this side of the world?
Yeah, it's an enigma. But
yeah,
and it goes to one of my theories. One of my theories is that we have the Garden of Eden story, and almost every religious creation myth has a Garden of Eden parallel or parable. Yeah, but here's the thing: why? Well, if you're an alien species and you cannot breathe the oxygen on this planet, and the gravity is too strong for you or too weak, whatever it is, and your workforce tells you, we're not going to dig your stuff anymore, we quit. Well, what's the best way to mine something on a planet that you cannot survive on? Well, you use the native animals as labor, but you can't use creatures you found in the mountains down in the desert, and you can't find creatures you encounter in the desert and bring them up to the mountains to do this work. You have to have creatures that evolved in the specific regions and at the different various levels of altitude, so that they will be able to tolerate, because if they've evolved in that area, they can tolerate the conditions. Like if you go to Colorado, Joe and I would be gasping for breath, not only because we used to be smokers, but because the oxygen is thin up there. Unless you've lived there for a while, you're not used to it. So bringing those people down to work on the shore, they might do okay. But going the reverse way, taking people from the shore and going up to the mountains to dig gold, those creatures are going to die just as fast. So what they probably had to do was cultivate several gardens of Eden on all of the continents, so they could have worker forces that could work up here in the mountains, down here in the valley, over there in the tropical rainforest, and down here underwater. I guarantee you that's why we have so many different species, is because there were various difficult conditions they needed to have these creatures ready for or adapted to, so they could do the work.
Well, I mean, the Sumerians and the Dogons pretty much give you the story. I mean, it's not really an argumentative story. Even the Egyptian story kind of goes along with the Dogon and the Sumerians tell you. So, some reason there was a species like ours, a subspecies of us, that they had created, I guess, to plow the fields, to procreate, just to do the everyday things that these advanced extraterrestrials some reason needed slaves to do, which still makes me wonder. But then of course you've got the Dogon and what they referred to as the Nemos, or the reptilians, that came down, started taking the women from the Sumerians, raping the women, bringing them back pregnant. The children they were born different. They were born self-aware,
and they were born human, not reptilian or any other shape or form.
With just a small piece of reptilian. So Danny,
they grew larger and they grew smarter.
Yeah. So Danny, yes, every human on the planet has a reptilian section in their brain. Everyone. It's a very important piece too.
We have actually three types of brains. We have the triune brain, which is that of the insect. That's what regulates our systems and gives us most of our instincts. Particularly when our skin, you get goose pimples, it comes from there. The medulla oblongata. That's the insect brain. Then the next one is the reptilian style brain, which covers the medulla oblongata, which gives us our sense of tactical fight or flight. And then we have the reasoning brain, which comes from the mammalian or the ape brain. 3 brains, 1 head.
That's why we're so perfect, people. There you go.
You know,
Well, no,
and
that was
as an
the story.
example in nature, if anyone out there doesn't think more than one brain is possible, there is an octopus that has, I think, it's 9 brains throughout its body. There is the dinosaurs, which we don't know for sure, but most archaeobiologists speculate that these large animals had 2 or 3 or 4 brains, particularly the large ones that had, they're 190 feet, 390 feet long. They had a brain that controlled the front end and a brain that controlled the tail end. I don't know if that's true or not.
Like
but
the guy used to drive in the back of the old fire trucks.
Right, exactly right. Yeah,
That's what it
so they
was.
had the tiller brain and the front brain. Yeah.
So, to Danny, to answer your question, the reason we brought it up is because the Sumerian and Dogon both say that the Sumerian talk about 2 different types of extraterrestrials that visited them.
The Anunnaki and the Ijiji.
Yeah, and then the Dogon talk about the Nemos, or the reptilian, as a lot of people like to call them. They talk about those.
And so simultaneously, with on the other side of the Earth, on the Japanese side of the planet, the Jomon culture of prehistorical times. I don't remember what they called the race, but the same species as the Numos in Africa visited them. The ancient Japanese described it more as an amphibian, like frog or lizard, rather than like alligator. But alligator is on the East Coast, in Egypt, rather. So simultaneously, these creatures were interacting with creatures on 2 sides of the planet, and like simultaneously.
They are true amphibians too. I mean, they survive in the water or on land, so they are true amphibians.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I guess it's all how they look. Oh, so Stephanie.
Well, we know there are several different sects of, not sects, SECTS, different groupings of reptilians. Some have wings, some don't. Some have tails, some don't.
Well, that's the thing. When you get into what the different contactees say they see over the years, and how many tribes of the reptilian there seems to be. There seems to be a few of them, at least 12 or more for sure.
Yeah.
We know the amphibians ones. They've talked about that quite a lot. They've talked about the winged ones. They've talked about several varieties of them, actually. And they all say they feel the same way when you touch them, like warm suede, which suggests they're not cold-blooded. So technically, they're not even reptilians. I don't know what you'd call them.
Well, so it would tend to me that they might have evolved from something more of an amphibian, because that is a warm-blooded creature.
So, you mean like this amphibian thing on our screen right here?
Yes, exactly.
He kind of looks like an amphibian. Whoa, God. That is just, you see, I tell them all the time, keep the aliens in the house. Do they listen to me? No, they do not listen to me. They just let them roam through the neighborhoods. Some poor unexpected neighborhood, damn alien walking up and down the streets. Yes, people, they can look like sort of like humans sometimes, but you can tell. Look at her face. She's definitely a gray. Yeah, look, see, look at the big eyes, man. I'm just waiting for something to pop out. Boop.
Yeah, another way to tell is if they can do this with their eyebrows. You can do that.
See, another weirdo. We just allow any weirdos in here. But anyway, getting back to where we were. And all of this is coming out of what we were talking about Congress just a little while ago. Because really and truly, is our Congress going to be as smart as the Egyptians or the Sumerians or even the Mesoamericans, for that matter?
I don't think it matters, because whatever the aliens are going to do, the aliens are going to do it and get away with it unimpeded. We cannot stop.
What happens if they're not going to do anything? What happens if they're just here?
We know they're doing something. They were looking for something. We
that's
spoke
scary.
About it a little bit ago. They're definitely looking.
That was scary.
Yeah.
They're looking for me.
Yeah, they're probably running from your ass.
They'll never find me.
They're running. They're running. They're not looking. They're hauling ass.
But we've spoken about this in many, many different shows, and it keeps coming up. They are looking for something. What, we don't know, but it has something to do with us.
But are they looking for something? How do you know they haven't found what they were looking for many moons ago, and they're just hanging out now? Earth's a cool, chill planet. Look, we're out here, way out and off, spiral on. Nobody's bothering them and shit. They might just be chilling.
The reason on that is
look at the tall white people.
We know they have really advanced weaponry. They have really, really advanced spacecraft, that multimedia spacecraft. That means they can go into outer space, into our oceans, into our atmosphere without being impeded. I mean, it's like bloop, 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 and I mean, we can't transition from ground to underwater really quickly. We have to dive under it, and it changes our momentum. Doesn't infect them at all. They just bloop right through the ocean like it wasn't even there. And they can also go in and out of our lava, which means they can probably go in and out the core of the planet without being damaged or even scorched. So why would they be here if they found what they needed? Maybe this is what they needed was this planet. And the only thing I can think of is it's a tactical reason. There's a strategic reason they have it.
Why don't it have to be strategic?
Well, we've talked about this.
So think about what you were saying earlier.
A bunch of red dwarfs.
But think about what you were saying earlier. The Sumerians originally came here. They weren't looking for nothing strategic. They were looking for gold.
Why look here? There's a whole bunch of other better.
Because they like being around. Because here they could create. They probably thought they were going to find some little subservient race when they got here. They were just disappointed that they didn't, and they had to create one. But that's probably what they were hoping for. And they could just come here and chill and do.
Maybe they made friends with us, and they think we're really cute and fuzzy, like we do puppies and kittens.
And I don't think the Sumerians realized it when they got into all of that there was another race already here before they even came here. I guess maybe that's why the Nemos got involved in the first place and started.
I don't know. The way I understand it, the tall whites of Charles Hall, they think of us as somewhat annoying creatures that they can tolerate because we help them by letting them use this as like a truck stop.
That's what we are for them, a truck stop. That's
the reptilians really kind of seem to be off-putting. There's a recent speculation. I forget where I saw this, but he may be one of those fringe dudes, but he has the idea that this planet is allegedly owned by the reptilians, and it is they who are actually in control.
You mean like the mice? They're the mice?
We're the mice.
If y'all don't know who the mice is, y'all are not real sci-fi people. Is all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Anybody don't?
But he's speculating on that. Then you've got allegedly the Anunnaki, who are a human type that are 8, 9, 10 feet tall, who created us.
Well, not us. The race right before us.
The Homo sapiens, the 6th and 7th generations before. Yeah. Still, though, I mean, these stories are worldwide. I mean, it just seems bizarre. If they were looking for something and they found it, they should have left. If they haven't found it,
that's the only reason they need to be here.
I don't know. I disagree. I think the only reason for them to stay here is the strategic one, because this is a place they can launch into the Orion.
Yeah, the Greys are going to let them launch anywhere. That's not going to happen. Greys are going to be like, excuse me, you're not launching anything. It's the whole reason the Greys got sent here in the first damn place. Was to make sure the other two ignorant races, the humans and the reptilians, didn't go start.
Somebody caused a ruckus and blew up a couple of planets in the solar system. And maybe the Greys are forcing the guilty parties to make amends.
That's
bringing us back to whatever level we were before.
We're like on Babylon 5 after the Big Burn. That's what we are.
We got blown up.
Then they're saying,
our solar system got.
We're going to help rebuild these humans correctly, but apparently they didn't get it straight this time around either.
Trying to grab us, Joe. Look out!
I know. I was reading her poem. Oh my god! That's scary. She's definitely an alien.
That's my left palm.
That's the one you're supposed to read. See, look at your heart line. Look at your lifeline. Oh my God, you definitely have been probed by aliens. There's no doubt about it. Your palm says.
Look, I got 6 fingers.
Oh man.
Where?
You know, I don't. You know, there's a spot on there that shows you how many kids you have. Only right. It's right here. The lines there show you how many kids you have.
I stabbed myself in this hand by accident.
Oh my God!
It was this hand.
See what happens? See, we always tell them they need to put extraterrestrial warnings on all stuff that ET don't know what they are.
Because you're right-handed. That's why you cut yourself on the left.
That's right. Because she's an alien.
Only aliens are right-handed, but I can use both of my hands.
Yes, I'm ambidextrous myself. It's all weirdos are. It's just one of them things.
I mean, I can't draw with my left hand, but I can certainly write decently enough. I can sign my name decently. When I broke my hand when I first moved back to Maryland from college, I couldn't. I broke my right hand, so I couldn't write checks because I had my hand was all like. So I had to write left-handed for 3 or 4 months or whatever it was.
I don't. I used to get tore up a lot. My right hand was always getting messed up, so I was using my left a lot. But Janine, so Congress, as far as Congress is concerned, at least this part of Congress is concerned, yes, extraterrestrials are real and they do exist. Just no one will bleep and tell them the bleeping truth about any bleeping thing whatsoever. I'm sorry, guys, I can't curse on this show. It's not allowed. Come on Friday, you can hear me curse, or Saturday.
Oh, only especially Friday, and probably Saturday because of
Saturday during the day I don't curse either. I host Arthur's Quill on Saturday, so it's a very polite.
Yeah, you got to behave with John.
It was not even John. Some of them authors are very smoky.
Oh yeah,
stuffy old kind of guys or girls for that matter. No, we got a lot of famous people come on Saturday. Yeah, because there's a lot of famous authors that we bring on.
And actors, Jim Meskimen.
Yeah, we have actors on here. All kind of wonderful people come
I was on the show with you when he came in. He was cool. He did a few voices for us. That was
Oh, he's got a wide range of voices. I got him one night.
I was shocked when he told me he did Batman, Superman, all kinds of cartoons that I watched. So I know I've heard him doing these voices.
Oh yeah, he's been around for a while too. Yeah. So there's a I'll get you a clip of it next time I talk to John. So they do every year they do an old radio show there when I'm out in LA at this Author Services building. And it's really a cool little thing they put together. Well, Jim and his daughter and one other person were the actors for the show this year. And it was great. They did a good job. It was something Old Man or something. It was the L. Ron Hubbard story. It was a good story too. But they do it every year. It's cool how they do that. What do you mean burlesque? What are you talking? Oh, yeah, that is true, but that's not for this show. To ask me about that on Friday or Saturday. Yes, don't ask me about that tonight. But anyway, get back to Congress. They really do think that this is real, even though some of the witnesses they had were kind of talking down to them a little bit. But I mean, the other ones were talking with them, trying to get to the bottom of this. I'm glad to see they foo-fooed a lot of Uncle Greer stuff, because a lot of that stuff is. Well, it's just about making money. It's not about the truth.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I've heard this rhetoric, umpteen senatorial investigations on UFO releasing info and whatnot. How many times is this? 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. And the senators all say the same thing. They're like, we're shocked. We can't believe it. It seems like it's real. We got to figure it out. And nothing happens. So I don't put any kind of faith into any senatorial UFO disclosure hearings. I think they're all
they're trying. I'm giving them credit because they are trying to force the issue.
They're bringing it to the light of the government, but they're not gaining any progress.
They need to go get some of them high-ranking senators on there that sit on those different committees and say, "Hey, look, we need your help here." Because if he says, "Look, you got to tell him," then they'll have to tell him. But these people
the kickbacks, though, that those high-ranking senators are getting from the Special Access Program contractors like Northrop Grumman, Skunk Works, et cetera, yada yada, Boeing. They're getting so much money off of that if they do talk, they'll be in the poorhouse within the next week.
Yeah,
they can't say anything, and they don't want to.
Well, it's not even to their advantage. Well, you know what? We got part of an extraterrestrial that they gave us, and we're working on what it's for, or what this part's for. And then you've got at least a dozen people. They all agree that we got one, and we can't get inside of it. And it's.
Well, you're hearing a whole bunch of different stories on that particular aspect. How many spacecraft do we have? Do we have crashed ones? We have ones that were given to us, or ones that allegedly were given to the planet through Germany, and then it was captured in World War II. What stories do you believe? Do you believe Bob Lazar? Is there a hangar with 9 doors in the desert in Papoose Lake, Nevada, with 9 spacecraft in it? And, is there a place further up with like 7 or 8 more? The rumor is the U.S. has 9 to 15. I think it's 9 or less. But where did we get them? Were they given to us? Did we buy them? Did we recreate them?
So let's look at it this way. If the Chinese got hold of one of our F-35s, what do you think would happen?
They'd have an F-35 within a year and a half.
No. We if they didn't give it back to us immediately, we'd wipe out the whole entire area where the F-35 is. We would lay it to waste. If we couldn't retrieve it, we'd lay it to waste.
Oh, well, so if we couldn't do that, I guarantee you within a year and a half they'd have one.
But my point is, ET can just physically come take it. So the only way we could ever have a craft is if they wanted it. It's not like we could hide it from their sensors. It's so the only way that we would. And when people stop to think, like, I say, oh, we got to be fairly close. Really? Well, we know they were here 10,000 years ago, and were way more advanced than we were then. They're way more advanced than we are now, than we were 10,000 years ago. So think where they are today. When you start talking about these types of aliens, I mean, they have a major leap on us.
Think about where we've progressed from the turn of the century, 1900s, to now 2025, to another turn of the century. It's 100 years, 125 years. They've been here let's just give them 10,000, like you just said. They've progressed 10,000 years. How much faster did they evolve technologically, or are they at the point where they're stagnant? They've got the pinnacle. They got the best. You can't go any further. Good speculation.
Yeah.
Did their technology increase in?
Well, I imagine it would. I mean, you hear different descriptions of ships, different things. It seems like, because think of it like this. So when we first started doing research all these many moons ago, and when somebody was being taken, it was pretty much a given. There was going to be a missing time. And there were certain things that were just going to happen because that's how it happened. And then somewhere along the line, the ETs figured out, you know what? These idiots are figuring out what we're doing. So they changed the way they did it. And we would only, in the beginning, we were the only ones that even caught it. It took the field another decade after that just to catch up.
I caught the first one, but it threw me for a loop because they kind of did it with two of the craft that were similar, the F-117 and the TR-3B. But they hid the craft in plain sight and allowed it to be observed by civilians, daytime sightings, daytime photographs, just so that people could go, look, Ma, I caught a UFO, so they could hide the program from the public. And it worked brilliantly, but I cautioned people. I told them all the time, like, look, there are just too many of this same type of craft. They're over the Ohio Valley, they're over Belgium and France, so all throughout the 80s and early 90s. And I'm like, I wouldn't lay any claim to this. My friends were like, they came to me because I'm a UFO guy. And I'm like, I'd love to have your enthusiasm, and I'd love to think that these things are actual UFOs, but I don't think they all are. I bet most of them aren't. And I'll bet the ones with the clear pictures are very likely, if they're not ours, they're theirs. And if not us, they're Russians. And then in 93 rather, when the first Gulf War came off, the first, photographs of the now secret F-117 came out, I was like, well, there they are. There's your UFO flap of the 80s. There's your Belgian flap. There's your UFO flap over Ohio. And actually, it was a combination of both the TR-3B and the F-117. But it worked. It's brilliant. I mean, everyone thought and still thinks that those photographs are legitimate alien craft, and they're not. They're ours.
Well, the TR-3Bs are ours too. Yeah, they're
yes, I know.
They're not, but see, that's the difference. So when people talk about them, TR-3Bs are, I don't know, 90 yard by 90 yard by 90. They're not really.
Well, there are several different test vehicles that were made on that.
Yeah, I'm talking about
a really huge helium balloon.
Yeah, I'm talking about what we're flying. But when you start seeing them, like the ones they seen off of Tampa, 2.5 miles long, half a mile high. I mean, that's we can't build anything like that.
The biggest aircraft we have come up with, not counting the Saturn V rocket, because that's not technically an aircraft. Spruce Goose.
Yep.
I forget the millionaire's name, but the Spruce Goose. It's flown.
Howard Hughes.
Yeah. Howard Hughes. Thank you. It's flown several times in, I believe, in Manhattan Harbor, and not
like 6 inches off the water.
Yeah, I was gonna say not but more than a foot or two off the ocean.
Hey, it flew though. So.
It is the largest seaplane ever built and actually flew.
Yes, it was insanity. It was I was thinking hitting kind of rough water. The thing was going to break apart like balsa wood or something. It's well, Chris, no. So if you look at pictures of what you'd see hieroglyphs or things like that back in the past of what we'd consider a saucer, and you look at what came out of the 50s and 60s and what's coming out of today, they're distinctively different looking craft. They don't look the same. So there's definitely been an evolution somewhere along the line, a change in development. They're still saucers, mind you, but they're just styled differently. But the TR-3Bs are great. I mean, they've been flying around since at least 79. That's the ones they said we took to Mars with the Russians. I don't know. I've never been to Mars. How would I know? I'm trying to get Elon to take. I talk to Elon every day. I'm like, Elon, come on, dude, let me go.
There it is.
He said, no, man, I don't know. If he said maybe in 10 years, man. I'm like, come on, Elon, take me. I know you're already going. Come on, take me. He's like, oh, no, I can't right now, man. It's like, damn, Elon. No, he'd take you up to the moon like nothing. Yeah, we drove up there, come back to spin around the moon, come back. Nah. You mean Blue Origins? I'm not getting one of Blue Origin ships. Nope. Not after the 4 girls. I ain't getting in one of their ships. I'm sorry. You keep them things. And as far as whatever Boeing's doing, until they learn how to fly one, I'm not even going to worry about them. Elon's got this stuff under control. Denise, I did know about that. It's not something we can talk about here, but yeah. Yes, I did know they owned a whole bunch of them.
Well, here's something interesting. Helicopter hieroglyphs. And this is on Wikipedia. It looks like they're debunking it. The name of a part of Egyptian. Let me put it up here, but let me read this first paragraph real quick. It's a name given to a part of an Egyptian hieroglyph carving from the temple of Seti I at Abydos. I was looking at the wrong place. Damn it. It is a palimpsest relief with 2 overlapping inscriptions, the titles of Ramesses II superimposed upon those of his father and predecessor Seti I. Aha. Wow. Okay, hang on. Let's show this.
Crack, man.
No, I mean, this is... Yeah, everyone likes to make fun of Wikipedia, but...
Well, because Wiki's sticky, man. You gotta watch
some of their articles can be edited by the general public. Most of them, however, cannot be. Oh, there we go. Shit. So there are the hieroglyphs over there on the wall at Abydos. And then that's the symbol of Seti, which appears, I guess, up here. I really don't show that, but I see this arm right there. You see that arm is on top of Ramesses, and then there's this arm there, and a bird. But they don't really show Seti, really. Does kind of look like a helicopter, don't it?
Yeah, well, there's the 4 of them. There's that one. There's one that looks like a jet plane. One looks like a submarine, and one looks like a flying saucer.
Let me get those. Now that I know where to look. I was looking in the wrong temple. I was looking at Dendera, not Abydos.
Frank, I haven't talked about those tubes on Mars in a long time because they don't know what they are. All they know is there's something there. Well, everybody was at first they thought they was just a way to, when the wind blows, how dust ripples, dirt ripples. So they were thinking that's what it was. But then they happened to have been taking a picture of it's like a little valley. It was just the rocks had just cracked open, and you could actually see it going from one side to the other side. So I don't know what it was. And then a couple other places you can actually see them coming out of the rock and going into the rock. Yeah, there was some types of tubes or something. One of them you can actually see has like an offshoot on it, like there was something parked, like a place you would pull over so something could go by. Yeah, they've been around. Try glass tubes on Mars, glass tunnels on Mars. Yeah, you can probably find them underneath that. I got
Did
faith
you guys
in
see that video? Or not video, the article that I sent about radio signals being transmitted from one of the moons of Saturn.
What's interesting about that? There's been some weird stuff with radio signals coming off of Saturn and some of the moons. They're not exactly sure what's causing it. One of them, they said it seemed like it had intelligent structure, but they weren't sure.
So these are, is it up?
That's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so these are the Abydos inscriptions. So way over here is a giant insect like to which I've never seen on this earth. Perhaps a locust. I don't know. This is corn.
Maybe it's just zoomed in.
This is
not like maybe they just made a bigger version of it.
No, it's some kind of, it's an extinct creature. This is corn. They didn't have corn. Corn wasn't discovered until they found America. This is the helicopter, and they're saying
what else would that be?
Well, they're saying this is Ramses and Seti's inscriptions on top of each other. I say bullshit. This looks like damage, not a depiction of Ramesses. I don't see any arms. I don't see the other parts of the Ramses inscription. Over here, you see Luke Skywalker's land speeder from
Star Wars. Like that.
I mean, come on.
That looks like
this is 1950s Art Deco. That's a damn Cadillac, sedan DeVille, or some other kind of car. And then right here below it is a submarine. See, we got the conning tower. It's in the wrong place, but it has a conning tower.
Actually, no. You know what? That could be the new manna they have. Have you seen the new manna? Right?
Oh yeah. Yes, but that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. Look! All the way, way back over here is a UFO, and then there's a little dude in there. Let's see if I can make it any bigger.
That's how they got them on the when you look at all
the UFO, and it's got an X-ray, and you can see the dude inside with his arm operating some sort of device.
Yeah, you see those in some of the medieval artwork.
And this might be what the head of the Sphinx used to look like. Look at that.
Show the like the Mayan artwork where it looks like there's an astronaut, like a guy manning a space from inside.
Wait, this is George Jetson's down here on the bottom.
Don't even have to do that. Don't have to do that, Mia. Hang on a second here. Let me stop this. I'll get you something else that'll just blow your mind.
Nah, Chrissy, E.T. been here a long time, probably since as long as we've been here, probably not longer. Well,
okay, this is just a general search I did on Google. These are the Dogu statues from ancient prehistoric Japan, and most of them are clay or some other kind of breakable substance. But look at the eyes. It all makes a triangle. Boom, boom, boom. There is a theme all throughout these figures. The eyes are almost always the same, even though the figures tend to change what they're wearing. People say it's a spacesuit. I say it's a reverse scuba suit. The Japanese have this motif called Taotea. Taotie. You can look it up. Go to Wikipedia. They have an entry. Trust me. And the Taotea is their depiction of dragon. And allegedly under these suits were dragon-like amphibian creatures. And I forget what they called them. But they're the exact same creatures that the Dogon tribe of Africa described as the Numo.
Yeah. It's
But I mean, look at these. Do these not? Let me find one that this is the most popular one that everyone's seen the most. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can't find it. Well, that one's pretty good. It's not seen that often. This one here to the left. If you weren't speculating it was a alien creature from another planet, what would you say that kind of a costume would be? I
can barely see it. I'm on my phone.
Oh,
so it looks real little to me.
The quick answer would be a scuba suit. It would be something that we would wear to go all the way down to like the very bottom of the deepest parts of the ocean so he wouldn't die.
It does kind of look like an old Bell suit,
doesn't it? I mean, they almost all do. And some of them seem to have devices and buttons, and like those are the really early versions there. So here it is, or here's a version of it. The eyes are slits. The mouth is some kind of a snout. Usually the arms tend to have 2 or 3 fingers, kind of like, the old the mechanical diving suits that had like 3 fingers, to grab things. And some even had like pincers, and there it is. See? So the one over here's got 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, and the other hand has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Weird. The other one, the hand's broken off, leg is broken off, but they look like diving suits. Put one of these on and go underwater. Stay there all day if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you were an amphibious race, this is the planet to live on. I mean, come on, it's 2/3 water. 78 or 79% actually. So somebody always asked me if we were the most intelligent people on the planet, why don't we live in the ocean? I was like, well, because we weren't designed to live in the ocean. The dolphins do, though. They inhabit.
What happened to Atlantis?
It went home.
Well, if you watch Stargate SG-1.
It went home. And tonight we had enough of this bullshit. We're going home. You humans are retards.
No, I thought I had been sharing this tab with the whole time. I'm sorry about that. But I did find that.
It's got little nipples.
Yeah.
Probably little places for a little air thing to go in and out.
Well, like I said,
those are little boobies.
No, so now the way these creatures were described in the ancient Jomon texts and their stories is that the creatures inside were amphibian and breathed water. And within those suits was their environment within which they breathed water. Be the same exact thing as if we went into one of those suits, into their environment, it would be filled with oxygen and nitrogen and probably some other things to equalize the pressure. But this would be the exact same thing. It's just it's a reverse scuba suit.
Dun, 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 dun.
Which apparently is like what movies like Fire in the Sky and what else? Communion were depicting with the aliens, where they wore their gray skin over their natural bodies as a way to be able to survive outside of their natural environment.
No, the Greys themselves are a very interesting race. I don't know what you want to do with them, but they're very interesting. And, it does kind of look like it might be closed because you don't see any genitals or anything. So it's always smooth.
Well, if they didn't evolve from an ape-type mammalian ancestor, I'd say maybe they are actually reptilian. Maybe they're warm-blooded now, but at some point they changed. But
yeah, but not the
from a
Greys.
reptilian. And if they started from a reptilian, they may maintain the sort of the sexual parts of a reptilian, which is a cloaca. All their,
No, but I was talking about the Greys. The reptiles are just like the human aliens. They're just
well, I'm talking about the Greys too. And we can't say what if they also had an evolution from a reptilian background. Maybe they have a cloaca style sexual organ.
I'm thinking maybe an insect background. They may have had an insect background, especially because they like to walk on ceilings and shit.
Yeah,
they can't. It's one of those things when people talk about the Greys, they don't like to walk just down the hallway like a normal being does. They'll walk on the side or they'll walk on the ceiling upside down. They just gravity doesn't seem to affect them whatsoever.
Well, think about it. If you're traveling in space, it doesn't matter.
It does if the ship's, if you've got a walkway down the center with runners on each side and just a ceiling.
But it's like you said, the rooms are psychoactive. So when you go into the room, it sets itself for what you need: a bed, a seat, a desk.
It's just, for them though, it just seems like they just feel comfortable either way. It doesn't seem almost like it sometimes.
You're flying through space and you don't need gravity. It makes perfect sense that they could walk on, or they would walk in any which way they want.
But they do that when they're not in space too. So it's like when in somebody's house, they'll do that. It's like a fly walking on the wall. He's not going to walk down the floor. He's going to walk on the sides, or he's going to walk on the ceiling, but he's not going to walk on your floor.
It says one thing: they're creatures of
It's a
habit.
survival thing.
How many billions of years have they been traveling in space? They're creatures of habit. It's a habit they
They've been in
started.
space a long
and
time.
They won't get out of.
You know that one that I saw? My memory of it was that it was kind of hovering over, like it wasn't quite touching the floor.
Yeah, I don't think they actually do when they're walking around. It doesn't seem like they do. It seems like they're like there's air between them and the ground and stuff. Because I know when we seen those ones out at the golf that night, the ones everybody likes to coin surfing aliens, they were just riding right on top of the water. They were actually walking on water is what they were doing. So I guess that's one of those miracles that ET can perform. But they seem to just be walking on water, and they were taking people. So it was a whole thing. You know, there's a lot of witnesses there for that night too. There was that whole thing.
Yeah,
was
but
so
that could
surreal.
also easily be some sort of a technology. They have a thing
Oh,
on their
it
feet.
probably is a technology.
Yeah, that keeps them from touching the ground and touching the
Either that,
water.
or it's because their brain's so big. It's a natural thing. It's no telling with them guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, you know, they may have a limited, you know, the character Magneto. They may have a limited grasp of the magnetic atmosphere and be able to utilize some of it to their advantage.
It looks like they came from a low gravity, low light environment, or a medium light environment and low gravity. Maybe because like if you were
the eyes, they say are 2 to 3 times our size. I'd say they come from a no or zero light environment.
No, because they wear the patches when they're here because our light is too bright. It's,
well, also it also allows them to see and
it allows them a lot of things. But their eyes, when you people draw them, they look like our eyes, different color, and about twice the size of ours. But not those big black round. That's not their eyes. That's something.
Those are contact lenses, people.
Yes, that's something else.
Could they also probably be like not necessarily contact lenses, but a type of lens, like maybe like a mini computer screen or like a camera lens?
Well, it probably is a mini computer screen. It's probably a lot of things.
The way they're described by Philip Corso, Leah, is they are contact lens heads up night vision displays, meaning these things were like, okay, so have you ever seen a cell phone screen taken out of the cell phone? It's like a piece of plastic. It's a flimsy piece of plastic. AMOLED screen. That's what they are. It's a covering on their eye, but it's a heads up display that they can operate with their pupils. They can open up the computer type information. They can see at night. Night vision. It enhances their regular eyeballs so that they're not impeded by our sun, like Joe said.
Do they read? Like, do they have an alphabet or like any type of like system of?
Well, they've since evolved beyond any kind of having to write, because they are all immediately, as soon as you come into the room with another ET, they are immediately in brain contact. I mean, it's like immediate.
Okay, so I guess I'm not necessarily like reading or writing, but okay, so is it far-fetched to think that maybe there'd be some kind of like digital type of text?
That's what I'm saying. Those coverings are cell phone screens on their eyeballs.
I'm telling you, I saw that inside the eyes.
Yes, yeah. I would not be surprised. That's exactly what they are. They're like what our fighter pods have, except it's not on the inside of their visor. It's on top of their eye.
They hate to wear them things because the Greys are always in touch with their computers on board their ships. They're neuro linked to them. So for them,
it's like the children of Earth being connected to this, except for instead of being connected like this, it's actually on. It's not an iPhone. It is your eye.
So would it be too far-fetched for me to say something like I have a memory of seeing said text scrolling in a way across the surface of those lenses?
I would not be surprised, because it's also described in that same fashion by Bob Lazar on the inside of their craft, that the skin of the sport model he was able to get on board when they powered up the main deck that he was on. He saw the main deck or at least the control deck that you could fly it with, and he saw the deck below, the power plant deck, and he says that there were several panels all the way around the main deck that from the inside they can turn it to look like a window, and but the outside it still looks like a silver shiny metal disc, but they can also make it look like a glass from outside so you can see in. So apparently they have the ability to use that on their wall. I mean, it's not just on their contact lens. It's the wall has that same kind of data on it. Like it had heads-up displays in their language, and they can also,
you see that
through a certain window, they can zoom it in. Like in Star Trek, they go zoom in. They can zoom in on what.
But that's not a real. That's not a real gray craft. That must be some shit they give to the humans.
That's the one that was allegedly given to
because the Greys generally meld with their craft.
Yeah,
so
this one's not. No, we don't have one of those.
They don't have click and switch technology. This is what they use.
This is allegedly one of their craft.
It might not have been one of their craft. It might have been somebody else's craft.
Well, no, I'm saying this. I think this is the one that was given to Germany that we captured in World War II.
Oh well, that might have been because somebody gave Germany a craft, but it wasn't.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. It wasn't
the ones. Well, Jenny knows. So the one Jay's talking about is not an alive craft. It's it's an engineered craft. Yes,
not one of ours.
It was supposedly given to Germany by the human aliens. They gave it to them. Now, who the ship actually came from? I'm not.
They claim it was a Gray's craft.
And it could have been a Gray's craft, but I don't. And it would have had to been maybe it was like a cargo shit or something. Because the ships just don't operate like that. They just
maybe it's a personal, reconnaissance vehicle or personal,
they would still merge with the craft. Why would you give up such an advantage over everything? Being one with the craft is just immense advantages over everything.
I don't know, because if the craft dies and you're connected to it, I guess you would die too, wouldn't you?
Well, if the craft got blown up, you'd be dead anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
No. I mean, like if it died of natural causes.
No, I don't think that's how it works.
It had a heart attack.
It doesn't matter anyway because their consciousness just be uploaded into another body. So for the Greys, it's not that big of a death. Isn't like they don't think of death like we think of death. For them, it's just a matter of a new body. For us, it's a matter of oh shit, we're dead.
Yeah.
Unless you go off world, then maybe it's a little different. But the Greys are really, and it doesn't seem like that type of. It seems like that's the kind of type craft they've had for a very long time. Well, no, Jackie, they grow their craft. They raise them. Yes, they're not, and they don't just have small ships. They got monster-sized ships. Yeah, make a board cube look like your backyard.
I had a dream one time where I saw a giant, it looked like a flying saucer, but it was huge. And it was cutting through the clouds very slowly. Like I saw the edge of it, the curved edge, peeking through the clouds. And I know it was a dream. And my aunt was with me. She saw it too. And then we saw it start to plummet down towards, over our heads, like it was falling out of the sky. And it crashed 1 mile, 2 miles down the road from where we were standing. And then we looked at each other and we're like, let's go. And we start running towards it. And then I woke up.
No telling what that was about.
So I don't know. It was a cool dream though.
There is the is it 1516 or 1615 woodblock over I think somewhere in Austria, where several X's and O's and cigar-shaped pillars had a aerial battle from which several spheres, X's, O's, and pillars wound up on the ground in a pile on fire. And it's in a painting, woodcut kind of art media from 1500s.
I wonder,
sometimes I wonder if maybe some of us got stranded here from some space battle and we lost all sense of the time because we got stuck in Earth time and our memories started to fade little by little because
I've been saying that for years. Something came through the universe or through the solar system and blew up all the inner planets. Completely destroyed Planet 4, messed up Planet. Blew up Planet 5, messed up Planet 4, messed up Planet 3 and maybe even deposited Planet 2 from another solar system in on top of us, or reversed its complete direction. Some kind of chaos screwed up this solar system. It could have been we have heard in the Bible and other ancient texts of a war in heaven, the war between heaven and hell, or heaven and earth. And if that is the truth, if that's the truth, well, then it's not too far off to speculate that the reason the Greys and the other aliens are here is because somebody this place up, and they're being forced to this place up.
See, I would go for that, but the Greys come on the scene so much later than the other aliens do. That doesn't seem like that's what it is. It seems like the Greys are here just to be a peacekeeping force. They don't seem to be anything else, even though they do the majority of abductions now. They just seem to be a peacekeeping force. They're not really doing anything of any consequence. It's not like they're meeting with the government or doing anything else. They're just doing the abductions, doing their things, and going about their freaking every daily lives like we do. It just doesn't seem like that's what's going on. It's see, I could go for the disaster because anything could happen. I mean, as far as we know, Venus came flying through and got hit the fifth planet, and then drug debris behind it until it stopped, until it got trapped in the Earth's orbit. It's but we don't know because none of us were there.
No,
but we do know somewhere around the same time frame. It seems like there was a fifth planet that got destroyed. Mars got whacked, and Earth got whacked, and if Venus were here, they got whacked. But what caused it? A lot of people just think it was the sheer gravity of Jupiter tugging on the planet 5 times the size of Earth. They think they just crushed it, which is quite possible.
Yeah, but I think if that were true, it would have probably attracted it towards Jupiter instead of pushing it towards us. I think Jupiter's gravity is greater than and great enough to have attracted the debris from the fifth planet towards Jupiter rather than pushing it into the inner system. So I disagree. Going with ballistics again, the evidence seems to be that something came through between Jupiter and Saturn.
No, it would have because it was in movement, so it would have split, and it would have just done like any other debris field. It would have just instantly went into a swirl. Like
we don't have that.
Now. Yeah, we do. Exactly what we got. It's traveling through the solar system.
We don't. We have 3 distinct, trajectories from the asteroid belt intersecting Earth's orbit 3 or 4 times. 3 or 4 of these asteroid collisions we go through once a year, every year.
Yeah, common debris and stuff like that. But that's not the asteroid belt. We could never go through asteroid; it'd kill us.
No, those are from the asteroid belt because of whatever.
No, they're not all from the asteroid. Some of them are just comets going by. Some of them, Halley's comet. Like the Perseus and all those are comets that went by. That's not.
I'll find it. Hang on a second.
That's
let me see it.
Because I know we go through the couple of comets debris fields every year. Because I watch as many of them as I can see in the damn south because you can't see too many of them. What's up? Upside down, girl.
What time does this? What time does this show?
A few minutes. It's actually over in just a few minutes. We started a little late. We always run into Michelle's show about 10 minutes just to torture her. It's she says something about she's gonna have to slap y'all around in the near future. I was like, I don't know about all of that.
That sounds kind of fun, though.
Yeah, you better watch it. She looks like she smacks pretty hard. It's Chrissy, what's up? No, we're going to be talking about, we got guests coming up for the next like 4 or 5 weeks, but after that we'll be back to talking about what was Congress doing, a couple of things besides that, because we got in and out of it today a few times. Look at Heidi being bad down there too. I mean, y'all are just bad. Everybody in Pal Talk's being bad. Lord have
I don't see anything.
She's in regular.
What are they being bad about?
No, she just was laughing at you. That's all. She's laughing about you being evil. What are you talking about? Heidi's in chat right there. I was just talking to her. Look here.
Hi, Heidi. I see the comments now.
See, there you go. Look, I'll put them up on the screen.
Oh my gosh,
so you can
there's
see.
a bunch.
They it's anyway. It's whatever screen you're on.
Oh my gosh.
What's that, Jack? No, there's a lot of I forgot how many showers there are. There's like 9 or 10. There's a few of them. The Perseus is a really good one. There's a couple of them that you can see 50 an hour.
That's plenty to search for.
20 an hour. It depends where you are. Also depends. Like down here, it's hard in the deep south because we get a lot of overcast skies, so it's thick a lot of nights, so it's hard to see them. Or if the moon's in the wrong phase, like the one that just passed, the moon was in the middle of the sky, so you'll see one or two, but you're not gonna see.
Yeah, it was.
But the
Are you
moon
talking about like?
Yeah, we just had a shower not too long ago.
The eclipse blood moon.
Yeah. And then wait, there was an eclipse somewhere. Just we didn't see it down here, and we don't even get to see the aurora borealis down here. Every once in a blue moon, it'll
sometimes during certain conditions it'll migrate somewhat south, but not too far.
Yeah, they seen it in northern Mississippi. As far as I know, they've never seen it in southern Mississippi. I don't know if
usually doesn't go much past like Tennessee even.
Yeah, they had two big ones this past year that they came pretty far south. I was surprised. I was really surprised when I was hearing about where people were hearing it at. I'm like, really? I was seeing it that far south? That's crazy. Because usually it's northern part of the country, Canada, Vancouver. Yeah, you can see them in Vancouver. You see them in Seattle too. But some places you're going to see them much better than other places. Actually, I've been wanting to go dark sky park hunting. Yeah, I've been wanting to get out and hit some dark sky parks. Stephanie, a dark sky park is a park where you can see the night sky unabated. No lights around, just the Milky Way in its glory.
Some of the best places for that, honestly, are where Heidi is in the mountains in Colorado.
Utah has, I think, 7 out of the 10 best places to go. 6 or 7 out of the best 10 places to go.
Montana,
I guess because they got all them high plateaus in Utah. It's all high desert up there.
Montana is called Big Sky Country for a reason.
Yeah, well, because I've seen them in Colorado. I've seen them in Wyoming too.
Yeah, when I was in Colorado, I saw.
Last time I was in Utah, I got to give them credit. They were really, really pretty. Matter of fact, there's this place in between Area 51 and where we were doing the lecture at. It was an old ghost town, and we decided to stop there and check out the sky. Sky was stunning. You could hear the coyotes yipping out in the background, wind, nice desert breeze blowing, beautiful stars everywhere, sky everywhere, shooting stars all over the place. And then about another 30 miles, now it's about another 60 miles up the road, we stopped again, and it's still very pretty, but you could just start to see a little white glow off in the distance. And every now and then you'd see a couple of little red dots going by. It was Las Vegas National Airport. You could just start to see the glow of Vegas as we went past going to where we were staying. It's beautiful country out there, though. Top to bottom of Utah has got a lot of empty places just to go hang out. Oh, you
some of the roads
Area 51
are very, very dark. You can see lots of sky.
Yeah, it's got some pretty sky.
Yeah.
I've seen them in Sedona. Sedona still, for some reason, it's kind of weird. Sedona has like some kind of weird back glow or something to it. Its skies are not as dark as I would think they would be for being, where they're at. Well, you know what, John? There's 2 ways to get into Sedona, or 3 if you take the airplane. But if you're coming off of interstate, you're going to come in, you're going to go down this road, and then you're going to spend most of the day doing this, down a mountain. Tight curl, too. It's not even a wide one. It's just down a mountain, down a mountain, down a mountain. And I'm telling you, when you look over, you can see over the edge of the mountain. You're just down the mountain, down the mountain, down the mountain. Then finally you get to the bottom, and then you're driving in between these 2 monster mountains as you roll into the town of Sedona. If you come in the other way, it's pretty flat. Yeah, the way I went in was much funner. Let's say it was much more of a challenge, and leave it at that. I've driven a lot of weird highways. I've crisscrossed the country more than, let me think a minute, at least a dozen times.
Have you gone down the loneliest highway in Nevada?
No.
I've gone down all kind of. Not only did I go down the loneliest highway in Nevada, I went out on this little road in a Ford Expedition in the middle of the desert in the middle of the night. I made my own road.
No, I believe it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was we one time we took a Ford Expedition. One time we took a Nissan Armada. Well, the Nissan was nice. The Ford had more power.
It's a big truck too.
And but the Nissan was comfortable, man. I get out the thing after driving like 8 or 10 hours. It didn't feel like I'd been in the thing. We took it all off road too. We went and climbed up the side of mountains with it and stuff. Matter of fact, there's some videos. We're in a little 4-wheel RAV, no less, little Toyota RAV, and coming through these. Where were we at? Where were we? I don't know. I can't remember if we were in Colorado or in Utah. You can see us when taking the picture because you got the camera in front of the car as we're driving, and all you can see is you can't even see the road. All you see is over the side of the road. People were writing to me saying, "Joe, stop! You're making us sick," because we were doing it live. It's actually still on the UPRN Facebook pages. Now I don't know if I have much longer. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if how much longer because Facebook got this new rule. They want to start taking down everything in 30 days. So, what is it, Jimmy? Just type in media showers. There's a bunch of them come up. Some are going to be better. It also depends where you live and how well you're going to get to see them.
What's the new rule?
What new rule? What you talking about?
You said the Facebook had a new rule, but you
Oh
didn't
yeah,
say what
no
the
more.
rule
They don't
was.
leave your video posts up for 30 days anymore. After that, they take them down.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
I was like, you got to be shitting because I post a lot of stuff, but who believes in it? I don't believe in aliens. Who told you I believed in aliens?
Yeah, no such thing.
How can you believe in something? It's not God we're talking about. It's extraterrestrials. So when it comes to ET, there's only two things here. You either know or you don't.
Yeah. You either know they exist or you know they don't.
You might be thinking of him and hawing around. Maybe something might be around. But when it comes right down to what we do, no, you either know or you don't. I've seen way more than enough evidence to convince me if that's what you're asking, yes.
I believe.
I wouldn't have been asked to give testimony twice if they didn't think I wasn't telling the truth. It's no, because I don't know. I know a lot, but I don't know everything by any means. And a lot of stuff feels like it changes over time.
Yeah.
It just feels like it jets around. And so anyway, we got to get ready to get out of here because it's 8:08. And you know who's going to get hostile if we don't
Yeah,
sign off.
she's probably playing her promo music right now, isn't she?
Yeah, she's probably tapping them fingers. Which one of these three am I going to kill first? She sounds like she's got a pretty good guest on tonight. I was reading about earlier. What's up?
Will you do hypnotic dream or past hypnotic regression or whatever the crap it's called?
Past life
Can you do
regression.
that remotely?
Yeah, takes more effort though. It takes a lot more. It's a lot harder to hypnotize somebody over the airwaves than it is in person.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I mean, it's not. It can be done. It's just harder. That's all. It takes a little more practice, and like watch Jay. See, he's already hypnotized. Look at that shit. See how fast that was. No, but we really got to go. So, I'm going to be on Ethereal tomorrow at 4:00. So if you want to come by and check it out Central Time, I'll be over there. Talking about more extraterrestrial stuff. And then Friday, we'll be back on news on the flip side. We'll be talking about what happened with Charlie Kirk today and a lot of other news besides that. But I'm sure that's going to be on my mind because it really pissed me off. So,
what's Ethereal?
Ethereal's a TV show.
TV show?
Yeah, it's a TV show.
On what channel?
Roku. Yeah.
Like
Roku.
what channel though?
Roku. Oh, United Public Radio. Oh, that's right. You don't. Know you're on. When you're on with us, you're always on television, right?
Yeah, she is live.
So
Facing North American Monsters with.
Yeah, no, I know it was something about North American Monsters. I've seen it earlier.
With Jason Ofoot.
Yeah, so y'all go check them out. We're gonna get out of here. But yeah, there's 9 shows on the network that are always on television. Now, not everybody is because not everybody can afford to be on it, but there's nine shows that are on it. And if you're on any of my shows, of course you're on TV because all of mine are on television. I like watching y'all on the 70-inch TV too. It's cool. Go sit in the bedroom, flick everybody on. And that way
I want to know about this. You're talking more about UFO stuff tomorrow at 4?
Yeah, it's on ethereal. Yeah, on ethereal encounters unveiled. Yeah, see, Heidi knows. She'll be plugging up the advertisement. Will be on the page on Facebook.
See, I don't know anything about anything. I feel so in the dark. Like I'm just like stumbling across in life.
Come out of the dark into the light. That's why I always call you Padawan. Now you know why I call you Padawan. It's what's that, Jimmy? Jimmy, where are you from? You don't know what Padawan means. No, really. What country are you from, or what planet are you from? I got friends from all around the world. They all know what Padawan means. Yes. Really?
Yes, it's not just a local phenomenon.
Did you ever see a Star Wars movie? You're getting me in trouble, but did you ever see a Star Wars movie?
Prequel or the new ones? Yeah, not the original 3.
I mean, really? I mean, you've seen all of them, and you still don't know what a Padawan is. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Go back and watch them, okay? So what do you think Anakin was? For that matter, what was Obi? All of them were Padawans in at one time or another. Yes.
It means...
They even give you the lineage in the damn series. Oh, my God. I'm out of here.
It's like disciple or student.
It's just basically what it is. It's a student. It's someone learning from someone who knows more about.
That's much more like apprentice.
Yes, apprentice.
Yeah, apprentice.
That may be a better one. But on that note, guys and girls, I hope all you Padawans out there are having a good night tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Ethereal. You'll enjoy the show, and don't forget Friday. Marty, I'm until I get this off my chest, I'm gonna be pissed for days. So just hang out with us Friday and hope I don't lose a gasket or something. I'm mad. I mean, shit like this shouldn't be going on in the United States. This isn't some fucking third world country. Excuse my language. See, I made me curse on my show.
It's crazy. What the heck, dude? I don't know much about Charlie Kirk or anything, but like, I don't think anyone I mean, there's probably a couple people, but nobody needs to die like that, man.
Well, they better figure it out, because if something don't happen fast, it's going to get nasty really quick. That's the bad part. Anyway, guys,
that's a turning point. I think that's a historical turning point.
We should visit this on Friday.
Yes. Yeah, be sure to go check out any ETs. If you get any contacts, see anything weird, you know where to find us at. iCarCox.net. Stay out of trouble, though, people. Try to dodge the aliens from time to time. Don't just go running. You never know what they do. I mean, they might think you taste good or something. Yes, yeah, no. We were just talking at the beginning. Sure, they prefer Mesoamerican food.
Mesoamerican.
Anyway, on that note, oh y'all, no man. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Go hang out with Michelle and see how she's doing. I'll see how y'all tomorrow night. No, Jack, I got a meeting at 10 with Michelle. Yeah, we always do station meetings on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, it's for us two, not for host. All right, good night. Dun, 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 dun.